So we've got a stack of reports on the desk today, and they all seem to be circling the same pretty big idea about AI.
Yeah, the core argument is that we've been looking at it all wrong. We think of it as, magic, like it's just code.
But it's not.
Yeah.
These papers argue we need to see it as what it is, industrial infrastructure. And that changes the question we should be asking
Completely. It stops being about who's using AI.
and becomes about who owns it.
Exactly. Who owns the factory? Because at the end of the day, that's what this is, a modern manufacturing system.
And like any industry, it has bottlenecks. If you control the supply chain, you're the landlord. Everyone else is, well, just renting.
Renting is the perfect word. And all this research boils the industry down to three pillars, three things you absolutely have to have.
Okay, let's break them down. What's the first one?
Data, the raw material.
Right. And I think the common assumption here, one I definitely had, was that the internet is huge, it's basically free, so data is this infinite resource for everyone.
And that's a massive misconception, a really dangerous one. You have to draw a line between just, content and high-quality data.
What's the difference?
Well, you can scrape the entire open web, and sure, you can teach a model how to talk, how to sound fluent.
But you can't teach it how to reason.
Precisely. For that, you need the good stuff. Proprietary data. Think medical records, scientific journals, internal legal documents. That's the stuff that's locked away.
So we're hitting a wall with public data, and the real value is in these private archives.
Exactly. Without access to that, your model just hits a glass ceiling. It can't get any smarter.
Which brings us to the second pillar. This one feels more tangible. Compute.
Oh, it's very tangible. This is the factory floor itself. The specialized microchips, the GPUs, the data centers, the incredible amount of energy they consume.
One of the reports calls it the bottleneck of civilization, which sounds a little dramatic.
It does, but think about the analogy they use from the steam era. In the 1800s, you could be a genius with textiles, but if you didn't own a steam engine and the coal to run it.
You weren't an innovator. You were a worker in someone else's mill.
And today, the steam engine is a huge cluster of H100 chips. And the reality is, you can have the most brilliant scientific team in the world, but if you can't get off the wait list for server time, or you can't afford the rent, your project is dead. Simple as that.
That dependency seems like a perfect lead-in to the third pillar you mentioned, access rules.
The invisible lever.
Right. Because most developers, they're not building these huge models from the ground up, are they?
Oh, not at all. They're connecting to a massive existing model through an API. You can think of an API like a water faucet.
You don't own the pipes, you don't own the reservoir.
You just own the license to turn the handle. And the landlord can decide overnight to turn off your water or triple the price. Your entire business could be built on that tap.
And this whole structure, it creates what the analysis calls the flywheel effect, right?
It's a classic self-reinforcing loop. The big players use their massive data to build a better model.
Which attracts more users.
And those users generate more revenue and more data, which they then use to buy more compute. The wheel just spins faster and faster, pulling the entire market towards just a few huge companies.
So if the game is sort of rigged for the giants, what does that mean for the rest of us? The sources talk about needing a new literacy.
Yeah, and it's not just about learning how to prompt better, it's about developing a critical eye.
So number one would be understanding where the answer came from, its provenance.
Exactly. Was this generated from a verified scientific paper, or was it hallucinated from a bunch of random forum posts? You have to ask that.
And the second skill is verification. Treating the output not as a final answer, but as a first draft.
Yes. The machine is built to give you a probable, plausible-sounding answer, not necessarily a true one.
We've laid out the factory, the data, the compute, the rules. But I want to end on this final idea from the research, the one that I found genuinely unsettling for the future of science itself.
Ah, the black box discovery problem.
Right. As these AI models scale up, they aren't just summarizing what we already know. They're starting to generate truly novel scientific hypotheses.
They're finding patterns in data that are just too complex for the human mind to see, discovering new drugs, new materials.
But here's the frightening part. What happens when an AI gives us a cure for a disease, but the logic it used to get there is so complex, so alien, that we can't actually reverse engineer it?
Do we trust it? That's the next frontier of control. We could enter an age where we have to accept certain scientific truths on faith because they were born inside a machine we can't fully understand.
We're handing the keys of discovery to a driver we can't really see. Thanks for deep diving with us.